Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to be doing a video on how to get huge, what it actually takes to build an elite level physique. So first off, is going to be the sole determining factor I think that separates anyone who makes monumental progress from someone who does not, and that is simply the identity. The person who loves to do it, becoming the person who grows, becoming the person who makes this a part of their lifestyle, not just a phase. Don't treat this like a 12-week plan. Otherwise you'll end up looking like a 12-week lifter. The best physiques are not built fast. They're built over long, long periods of time, and it shows. No one has turned into Ronnie Coleman overnight. Otherwise, we would have freaks all over. No one turned into Nick Walker overnight. Otherwise, Nick Walker would have been Nick Walker from day one. We look at his transformation. That is the result of 10 years. Tracking your inputs. Track your food. Do not eat a single gram off of your meal plan, like it is part of your job. Track your training like it is your legacy. If you plan to build one, then it is. Don't miss workouts. Don't half-ass sessions just because, oh, I feel tired. Look at your logbook or whatever it is you might do and make sure you're maintaining your strength, you're getting stronger, whatever phase it is. If you're in a surplus of food, you should for sure be getting stronger. If you're in a deficit, maybe even at the tail end, I frankly don't find it excusable to let your strength dip unless you are severely, severely fatigued and over dieting. But even then, you should be able to at least maintain your strength. Amateurs guess and pros track. Train with violence and live with discipline. Every session is a battle. You don't just show up to exercise, you show up to win. The same foods, same meals, same schedule. Even when life gets hard, you become undeniable when you are unshakable. Make sure you are sleeping consistently. Have a bedtime. I go to sleep at usually 9 p.m., usually wake up around 5 or 6 a.m. Your entire day should be structured to support getting your meals, getting your workout, getting your cardio, all the above, making sure every single box is checked. You don't just dabble in a pro level physique. Like I said before, there would be Nick Walkers, Ronnie Coleman's, Hadi Chupin's, Big Rami's, etc., walking around every single day. It's frankly something you don't see very often, if at all. There's a reason people like this are rare, because it takes an unshakable amount of discipline, genetics, work ethic, all the above to get there. You don't just try to get there, you live like someone who will be getting there. The real question is what to do. Are you willing to do that every single day? Doing the simple shit day in, day out for years and years on end. The reality, it's slow and relentless. If we look at Nick Walker gaining roughly 100 pounds of muscle over 10 years, that's 10 pounds of muscle a year or 0.2 pounds of muscle a week, something you could barely even perceive. That is insane, elite, retarded level progress. Week to week, you will not see this. Month to month, maybe a little, and year to year, you will look like an entirely different human being. A lot of people overestimate what they can do in a week, or a month or two, 6 months, etc., but they completely underestimate what they can do in years. Be consistent. Be disciplined. Muscle gain is going to be invisible in the short term and extremely obvious in the long term if you are checking all of your boxes. Most lifters quit because they're impatient. They make mistakes, slow progress for no progress. They end up program hopping, flipping their diets, and resetting every 3 months, lacking consistency, the one factor that will make you progress. Result? A decade of lifting, competing, whatever it might be that they're doing, with no physique or results to show for it. The ones who win are the ones who just keep showing up. Consistency plus time is going to be the whole game here. No supplement, gear, peptide, drug, guru, whatever can replace you showing up every single day and doing the work that you need to do. You need to train. You need to do your cardio. You need to eat. You need to sleep and improve, even when it's boring. You might not have that fire in you at that point in time, but keep working. It does not matter how you feel. Keep working, keep showing up. If you have a goal in mind and you have a plan to follow, keep following it. How you might feel, that's fleeting and temporary. Your goal is more important than whatever temporary satisfaction you might get out of skipping your cardio, eating that shitty meal, or skipping that workout. The longer you do the basics, the more and more advanced you'll become. Muscle is going to be earned in the years, weeks, months that everyone else fucked off and slapped off. I have plenty of friends that I simply just outpaced that might have had better genetics than me, all that just because I kept showing up and never gave up. The bottom line is you want to look unrecognizable, then you must be unshakable. This takes years, so you must act accordingly. Phase structuring. No one main gains into a freak. No one, and I repeat, no one has main gained into Ronnie Coleman because that would be fucking impossible. Main gaining in and of itself, you will be not gaining weight. We're gaining so little weight that you will not make perceivable progress. Okay, so this comes in the same territory as perma-cutting, chronically low food. It's going to result in stalled strength, shitty workouts, a flat physique, bad recovery. Eventually, you'll become adapted to this. You get stuck, probably skinny fat, weak, and spinning your wheels. Perma-bulking, endless surplus, excessive fat gain, insulin resistance, systemic inflammation. The more fat you gain, the longer and harsher your cut will be. Bulking without boundaries is going to make you fat and have shitty pumps. Probably have a shitty appetite too. Main gaining sounds smart in reality, but it is incredibly slow and does not produce any lethal level physiques. You're not eating enough to grow. You're not dieting enough to reveal what you have built, if anything at all. Trying to do both will result in you succeeding at neither. You be intentional. Bulk. Gain lean tissue with controlled fat gain. Don't fucking go to Five Guys 5 times a week because, oh, I'm bulking, bro. Don't eat like an asshole and eat a bunch of shitty food just because, oh, I'm bulking, bro. Stick to your meal plan. Make small, gradual changes. Gain weight slowly but surely. Make sure, okay, take your pictures. Make sure you're not gaining excessive fat in your pictures and that you are progressing in the gym. Gain weight slowly, like 1% a week, maybe, and then you'll be good. Do that consistently for a long period of time until your body fat becomes undesirable or it's the end of your cycle, and then rinse, repeat. Cut, preserve your muscle, maintain your strength while reducing body fat. Tools to do this: deficit, cardio, and then just managing how fatigued you get. You know, if you come in the gate doing 2 hours of cardio, fucking zero carbs, zero fat, you will probably feel like shit pretty quick. Your gym progress will stall out. Make small, gradual changes so your body can adapt to it and you can maintain your strength throughout the process. Maintenance/primer. The goal of this is normalize your digestion if you've been eating a fuck ton of food for a long time. Potentially cruise so you have some time to reset your blood markers, feel better, get your inflammation down to a normal level if you've been pushing gear and food for a long period of time, and preparing yourself for the next phase, cutting or bulking. It's going to be ideal between either phase, between harsh cuts or aggressive bulks, so you can get yourself ready to progress again. Each phase is going to build into the next. A cut goes to a bulk, you become more insulin sensitive, you get lean, you have a long runway before you get to the point your inflammation, body fat, all the above is in an indesirable state. Bulking leads to cutting. You've built the tissue, now it's time to trim down and display or prepare to build more. Maintenance, it's going to keep you healthy and responsive. It's going to make it so you can do this sustainably. Remember, the key is consistency. If you end up with trash blood markers and needing a kidney replacement after 3 years, you will not get big. You will need to stop lifting and you can't eat protein anymore or you'll probably fucking die. Pick a goal, commit hard, transition strategically, and repeat forever. Nutrition. Macros are not suggestions. Protein. You need protein in order to gain muscle. If you're not eating protein and you're trying to get big, you are retarded. Protein drives muscle protein synthesis, prevents breakdown in a deficit, supports hypertrophy in a surplus, and if you're in a deficit, higher protein could potentially help with making you more satiated. Digestion is going to be slower with protein, so make sure if you're in a deficit, you could eat a little bit more. If you're in a surplus, don't go too hard on it. It's a way to get more food. Spread it evenly across all your meals so you're not just eating 300 grams of protein in one sitting. If you feel like dog shit, it'll probably be pretty hard to get down. Prioritize lean meats, fish, eggs, egg whites, whey, yogurt, high quality protein sources that digest well. Whatever that is for you, whatever it is you enjoy, just don't go too hard on the saturated fats and bomb your cholesterol into insane territories. Target for protein, typically what I'll set is 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. No protein is going to be no growth. How the fuck are you going to build muscle when you have no amino acids to build it from, no building blocks to build it from? That is not going to happen. Fats are going to be the hormonal and cognitive support system required for testosterone production, nervous system health, and the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Too low, impaired libido, mood, and cognition. Keeping moderate. Overconsuming adds calories with low satiety, and simply does not benefit as much, especially for focusing on performance. Prioritize omega-3s, olive oil, egg whites can be good, and avocado, mainly just for the sake. I prefer omega-3s because it's going to be probably the most anti-inflammatory fat source you can get. I have a whole other video I'm planning on making to explain the whole relationship between omega-3s, inflammation, and all their benefits. Target for fats 0.3 to 5 grams per pound of body weight. This can skew a little bit. I would not go past the 0.5 gram per pound of body weight mark when I'm in a surplus, but I do tend to go under the 0.3 gram per pound of body weight mark in a deficit. I tend to, at some points, just go pretty much zero added fat and get like trace fats from fish oil. Carbs are going to be the fuel and recovery driver. This is, in my opinion, for performance, the most important macronutrient. It's going to be stored as muscle glycogen, training fuel, helps you get that full look and helps you maintain your strength and performance. So it's going to stimulate insulin, which is both anabolic and anti-catabolic, drives nutrient partitioning, helps shuttle protein and amino acids into muscle cells as well when you have that insulin present. So all in all, carbs, more insulin, going to be protein sparing. So if you can keep your carbs high in a deficit, you're probably going to end up with a better end stage product, feeling less fatigued, and probably better as a whole. Prioritize shit that's easy to digest and that's not going to inflame the fuck out of you. For me, that's rice, potatoes, fruits. I'm not much of an oat guy myself. I'll typically go like cream of rice, yams, sourdough bread, shit like that. Oats tend to bloat the fuck out of me. So after you have your protein fat targets set, fill the rest of your calories with carbs. Carbs are not optional for performance-focused lifters. If you are a carnivore or keto bro, eating no carbs, oh, but I lost like 10 pounds in the first week. That is mostly water and glycogen. You're going to stall out eventually. Keep your carbs high so you can keep training hard. And if your favorite influencer does keto or carnivore, they looked like that before they started doing that diet. They did not make the progress that they made doing that. They're just maintaining what they had. Key takeaway, hit your macros with a purpose. Protein builds your muscle, carbs fuel your performance, and fats regulate your cognition and hormone production, especially if you're natural. Get enough of all three, but carbs are your friend in a growth or bulking phase. Food isn't just fuel, it's the raw material for muscle and performance. Nutrition, surplus without getting sloppy. So, making sure you don't get too fat in a bulk, keep it very simple. Keep your rate of gain controlled between 0.5 to 1 pound per week. It's typically what I err on the side of. A surplus of 250 to 500 calories above maintenance. So what does that mean? Let's say you're weighing yourself every week and your average for the week is not moving up whatsoever at all. You're sitting at 216 pounds. Shit has been stuck for a week or two. Well, what you can do then is up your food, 250 to 500 calories. I'll typically myself make 200 calorie bumps. That'll drive a little bit of weight gain and then rinse and repeat until A, appetite is completely fucked, or I typically don't get to the point I get too fat. I'll just get to the point my cycle is either at an end, I've gained enough weight, or my appetite is fucked. Too fat, too fast, you're gaining weight, you're mostly getting fat, and too slow, you're spinning your wheels or staying flat. Fat loss, cutting guidelines. Rate of loss, 0.5 to 1 pound per week on average, deficit of 300 to 600 calories below maintenance. The goal of this is to maintain strength while reducing body fat. Faster is going to result in more risk to muscle loss. Slower is going to be more sustainable. Smart tools to monitor progress. Weekly scale average. Daily fluctuations are noise. Weekly average is a trend. You compare 1 week's average to another and you see it trending down over time, that's good. You're good. If you see it going up, that's good. You're good. Depending on the scenario, cutting or bulking. Mirror and photos. Use consistent lighting, angle, time of day. Have a consistent setup to take your pictures in. That way, all variables are controlled, and that means you will be able to compare these one-to-one, see, am I getting fatter? Am I getting leaner? Am I getting bigger? Am I getting smaller? If you compare one photo from like a month ago to one photo from today, the conditions are all the same, but you look like you're way fucking bigger. Well, good news, you're probably bigger. Performance markers. Are lifts progressing or stalling? Declining performance is going to be underfed or over-fatigued. If you're getting weaker in a deficit, then you might need to reassess the amount of cardio you're doing, the amount of food you're eating, make sure your sleep is good, make sure you're not doing too much volume, etc., etc., etc. If you're in a bulk and you're not getting stronger, you're simply training like a bitch. That is as simple as it could be. I frankly do not find any excuse for someone being in a bulk that is not getting stronger. You are shitting the bed on something. Your effort is low. You need to stop training like a pussy. Pro tips: eat like you train with precision. Log food, adjust as needed based on visuals, scale, and gym data. Appetite tanked. You can add liquid carbs or opt for more calorie-dense options. Shit like cereal. You could add more carbs in your intro workout. I got to the point this last bulk where I had 150 grams of carbs in my intro workout shake. It's like getting down a sludge, but felt fine on my stomach, and that's an extra. I think I had like 25 grams of EAAs in there, so that'd be 100 calories, and then 150. So I had about 700 calories just from my intro workout shake, which is super duper easy to get down. Barely feel like it's in my stomach. Cutting, don't crash, preserve your muscle, high protein and carbs around training, make sure you're maintaining your strength. Surplus builds size, a strategy that a surplus builds size, and then a deficit maintains that size. Don't just eat more, eat smart. Training mindset, stop being soft. Philosophy, train as hard as possible to get as strong as possible with perfect form, using as much volume as you can recover from as often as possible. This isn't a quote, it's the standard in my opinion. If you aren't pushing intensity, controlling execution, and logging your efforts, you're lifting for maintenance, not progress. Jordan Peters, in my opinion, is the blueprint for effort. Every set has a purpose to do something you've never done before. But 2 top sets is going to be significantly better than 6 junk sets. Mastery of movement plus insane psychotic intensity is going to result in hypertrophy, no matter how you slice or dice it. Violence, precision, repetition. It is as simple as that. Be patient. Make sure, okay, 1 week, let's say I did a 545-pound stiff leg for 4 reps. Eventually that 5th rep is going to come. Just keep hammering at it. If you look at Jordan Peters' Instagram recently, he's been preaching this, and could not be more true. You have to stay patient and stay determined. Logbook over your feelings. You either beat last week's performance or you did not. It is as simple as that. There's no excuse you can make. If you look at your logbook and you either maintained, got weaker, etc., 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 you shit the bed. It is on you. You did not control some variable. Something had to be off with your food, sleep, etc., etc. If you're controlling every single variable as far as your sleep, hydration, nutrition, preparation going into your session, you should be able to at least maintain your strength or get stronger. Sometimes in a deficit, you might lose a rep or 2 over time. It is not excusable to lose 200 pounds off of a single exercise. You are training like a pussy by choice. It felt heavy means nothing. Show me the numbers. If you got, 40 pounds weaker in one session, yeah, you are shitting the bed on something. Log your reps, weight, potentially notes, stay average forever. Simple as that. Track your data, and if you're getting better, it will reflect in your physique. If you are not, then it will also reflect in your physique. Execution over excuses. It felt off as a feeling, and your feelings are fleeting. They're temporary. It's just a state of mind in that moment, that point in time. Execution is data. You're either collecting results or you're collecting excuses. Results are reserved for the ruthless. If you are not seeing the results in the gym that you want, are you getting stronger? Are you pushing as hard as you can? If you're not, then there's a reason you aren't getting the results you want, and you should reassess. Summary: train with purpose, train with structure. If your sessions aren't terrifying on paper, you are not building anything. I can think of plenty of times I've come into the gym before a workout and I get fucking anxious before an exercise. I look at my logbook. I can think of very, very vividly when I was on my first really, really, really good run of squats. I worked up from, I think it was over the period of like 8 months, I worked up from 185 pound squat for 10 to 405 for 6. I was shitting bricks before that 405 session. I literally remember the night before, like, being anxious about that workout because I was like, I could fucking rip something in half. But I went in there, I did that workout, I fucking beat the logbook. It is as simple as that. You do not make excuses if you want to get better. Training execution, training your progress. So when it comes to the nitty gritty of training, what are we actually looking at doing? We want to prioritize compound movements. Don't prioritize this fluffy bullshit you see on Instagram that your favorite influencer does. It is not going to be what the bread and butter that actually builds your physique is going to be. Base your sessions around movements that build the most tissue, a hinge, an RDL or stiff leg deadlift, a press, incline, overhead, flat, dips maybe, a pull, horizontal and vertical pulls, some sort of squat, hack, pendulum, leg press, whatever you prefer. These big compound exercises, get as strong as you possibly can with them, with the best form you possibly can, and it will reflect in your physique. You grow more by getting strong in a few basics than half-assing 20 fluff lifts. These Keenan flaps, whatever you might see on Instagram, whatever you see your favorite influencer doing, if, you know, how do I describe this? If if it looks stupid, it probably is stupid. If something you've never seen before that none of these big guys do, it probably isn't going to yield the muscle that you want. Doing whatever the fuck it is with some cuff around your elbow that feels like you're not training hard for 4 reps is retarded. And the people doing it look retarded, and they're small for a reason. Standardize your execution. Same tempo, same ROM, same setup, every rep, every single week. Recording your sets can be very useful for this. If you look at a set a month ago, you're doing the hack squat with 40 less pounds, and then you look at it today, plus 40 pounds, the same amount of reps with the same form, you for sure got stronger, and that progress for sure yielded more muscle. Control the negative, hold stretch, explode the concentric. Your logbook means nothing if your reps are inconsistent. Precision is what makes progress trackable. Ditching your ego. If you're chasing weight at the cost of form, you're training for injury, not hypertrophy. True intensity is owning perfect reps until failure, not flopping under heavy loads like a bitch. Smart lifters last longer and grow more. Your body does not care what's on the bar, it responds to tension. Here is a visual logbook example. So, if your execution is perfect and your logbook is progressing, you are growing. Exercise. Let's look at a hack squat, for example. On week 1, you did 4 plates for 10 reps. Week 2, 4 plates for 12 reps. Week 3, 4.5 plates for 8 reps. That is progress for fucking sure. Summary: perfect your reps, beat your numbers, prioritize the lifts that actually matter. Don't train for your ego, train for your future physique. Recovery. This is where you actually grow. It's very simple. Sleep your 7 to 9 hours a night. Deep sleep, if you're natural, is going to yield more growth hormone and testosterone release, REM, CNS repair, mood regulation, actually feeling like a normal functioning human being. Chronic sleep debt, undersleeping chronically for long periods of time, it's going to result in less muscle protein synthesis, worse insulin sensitivity, higher cortisol. If your sleep sucks, your growth stalls, or you'll end up losing more muscle than you should have. Cardio and mobility. Simple shit to keep yourself moving and grooving. Get plenty of steps throughout the day. Blood flow, digestion, lymphatic clearance. It's just going to help you feel better overall. Movement, fast recovery between hard sessions. If you sit around all day, every single day, I can think of plenty of times when I was not moving around a lot. I stand up, my fucking legs hurt like shit. They're sore as fuck. I walk around for a little bit, they feel significantly better. Getting that blood moving does genuinely have some real benefit to it, in my opinion. Cardio, it's going to improve your work capacity, recovery between sets in terms of just your cardiovascular recovery, and helps with fat management during the off season. Mobility fixes chronic restrictions that could lead to chronic injury. For me, example, I have poor hip internal rotation, and then I started getting really bad pain during leg extensions. That's something I've been working on. If it's limiting your lifts, it's limiting your growth. Fix it. Stress management and deloads. High cortisol wrecks recovery, digestion, libido, sleep, all the above. If you feel run down for a long period of time, you can potentially look at taking a couple extra days off, resting a little bit more. A deload or a couple extra days off allows your CNS to reset and gives your joints a break. Pull back before you're forced to. Summary: recovery is not rest. It is intentional to help you rebuild and keep progressing. Sleep, move, manage stress, and fix what is breaking. PEDs. They are an amplifier, not a shortcut. I can think of plenty. PEDs are an amplifier, not a shortcut. PEDs amplify what you already do. They do not replace effort. They magnify your structure, consistency, and intent. I can think of plenty of dudes I know that on gear and use gear as a crutch. Their diets are dog shit, their training is dog shit, and they look like dog shit just for that simple reason they don't fucking work hard. It is going to only amplify what you already do. If your diet's locked in, your training's locked in, your sleep is good, you're moving around a lot, it's just going to accelerate you looking better. It goes in the other direction as well. If your training, nutrition, recovery, and mindset are all trash, PEDs will just accelerate your failure. I can think of plenty of people that have fucking terrible anxiety, that use way too much gear, and end up looking and feeling like dog shit just because they have zero self-control. Don't use it as a crutch. Only use it as an assister to help you progress a little bit faster. Responsible usage requires 3 things: making sure you are doing your blood work. Pre, mid, post cycle, no exceptions. You got to know your baselines and know how your body responds under load. Monitor key markers like your red blood cell, lipids, liver and kidney markers, your ApoB, CRP, and everything else regarding your hormones, stress hormones, etc. You should be getting a comprehensive panel at least a couple times a year to make sure you're in a good state of health. You should be taking a trough of health supplements if you are on gear. PEDs raise systemic stress across the board. Your liver will be stressed from orals, kidneys will be stressed from high blood pressure, high protein, high muscle mass, extra renal load. Make sure you are controlling these to the utmost you possibly can, so you will be on this earth for a longer amount of time and you can be doing the things you enjoy for a longer amount of time. Your heart is at risk from left ventricular hypertrophy risk. Your lipids can get just trashed from being on gear in and of itself, on top of a bad diet, is a recipe for disaster, and platelet aggregation from high platelets, high hematocrit, high hemoglobin, all the above. Use proper prophylactics, not just, oh, I'm going to toss some milk this, let this. Be intentional, research what you need to make sure you stay healthy. If it is a medication, don't be scared of medications. So, how can I get educated on this? There's plenty of resources out there. People like John Jewett, Vigorous Steve, just to name a few. People like Kurt Havens, Paul Barnett are all awesome resources I would recommend everyone, if you are interested in getting on PEDs, to watch their videos, research, because it will help you know a hell of a lot more, be more well educated getting into this. Understand the mechanisms, all the drugs you're using, what does it do, how does it do it, doses, what is effective dosing, what is excessive dosing, esters, frequency, interactions, mental side effects, and what the possible long-term, short-term side effects are of using these drugs. Don't just copy your gym bro on your first dabble. Be thoroughly educated or hire a coach. Don't just listen to your steroid plug because it's like, oh yeah, do this much of this. Really make sure you know what you're doing. Don't pay what you don't understand. If you wouldn't dose it in someone else's body, you shouldn't be putting it in yours. No plan is going to mean no longevity. Getting big means nothing if you are in kidney failure by 35 years old. Blood work and other testing. Minimum standard if enhanced. Blood work every 2 weeks. A lipid panel, your CBC, your CMP. Make sure ApoA or ApoB is checked to make sure you actually have a good understanding of your atherosclerotic risk. That's going to be the main thing that actually determines plaque deposition in your arteries, your high sensitivity C-reactive protein, your inflammation and cardiovascular risk. It's going to determine, A, if you're really inflamed, you'll probably feel like shit, and it's going to determine your risk of having stuff like a heart attack in the future or having more atherosclerosis. Your thyroid panel, just making sure your metabolism is in a good spot, and if you're feeling like shit, this could be one of the factors as well. Your insulin sensitivity and HbA1c, again, another thing that can add stress on your body if not optimized and controlled. High glucose around the clock is going to stress your kidneys. It is going to stress your endothelial lining. Overall, it's just not good for you. You don't want to end up diabetic and having to get your fingers chopped off or your feet chopped off. You cannot optimize what you don't measure. Yearly health assessments, things that are non-negotiables, making sure you're getting an echocardiogram. It's going to measure your heart size, function, chamber thickness, your valves. It can detect the early signs of left ventricular hypertrophy, calcium score. I'd recommend doing this every 5 years. This is just going to make sure that you do not have calcium deposition in your arteries. So make sure a 0 score is absolutely ideal. If you have a 0, you're fucking killing it. Aim for that. by controlling your lipids, controlling your inflammation, controlling your insulin sensitivity, all the above. And then under 100 is somewhat in that good range. If you get over 100, you need to start some sort of intervention ASAP. You are a ticking time bomb. Additional markers we can look at, this is on a case-by-case or potentially different situations. SHBG, total free test estradiol, checking your hormones. NT-proBNP/troponin if you are experiencing cardiac symptoms or have some fear of cardiovascular risk. D-dimer homocysteine and lipoprotein A, clotting or advanced cardiac markers, and ferritin/iron panel if you're experiencing high RBC. Supplements, not magic but effective. Natural lifters, performance and support. Creatine, whey protein, carb powder for intra-workout drinks. EAs for intra-workout drinks. Electrolytes for performance, hydration, cramp management or cramp prevention, and managing your blood pressure. Vitamin D3 and magnesium. These are what I believe are two of the most important supplements. Supplements help, but they are only adjuncts onto good food, good sleep, good training, doing your cardio. If you are just tossing blood pressure medication at high blood pressure, you're retarded. Do your cardio and manage your electrolytes first, and then use that as a next stop option. Enhanced lifters, health and damage control. TUDCA/NAC, liver support, especially with orals or high hepatotoxic load. Astragalus, kidney protection, CoQ10, ubiquinol, mitochondrial function, heart health, and can somewhat help with blood pressure. Fish oil, across the board, amazing supplement, something I highly recommend every single person take. Curcumin and or vitamin E, anti-inflammatories, endothelial support. Baby aspirin can help with plate irrigation, so to some degree could help be a prophylactic for blood clots. Nebivolol or telmisartan, blood pressure medications, again, a last stop sort of option we're looking at. Metformin for insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. Another one I'd like to add on to this would be retatrutide. I've seen it make a huge difference for pretty much fucking everything. Like, my lipids way better, blood sugar to A1C way better. I've even seen some dudes, probably as a result of losing body weight, it's going to make their blood pressure better as well. If you're enhanced and not running support, you're just going to be aging on an accelerated clock. Summary, natural supplements are minor advantages. Enhanced, larger importance for maintaining your health throughout your bodybuilding journey, making sure you stay healthy. You can do this for a long period of time. Either way, they come after food, training, sleep, cardio, and doing your blood work. Don't build a supplement stack before you build your foundation. Focus on the big shit instead of focusing on the little shit. I like how Paul Barnett says it. It's majoring in the minors. Don't focus on the small shit. You are just wasting your time if you're not locked in with your diet, sleep, and training. Common pitfalls to avoid: program hopping, undereating, obsessing over pumps/supplements, ignoring recovery, avoiding hard sets. Keep it simple. Do it hard. Just keep shit simple. That's the biggest thing. Keep shit simple. Don't overthink every single step of every single thing you do. If you are stuck in process by analysis and taking no action, you look the same forever. At the end of the day, it comes down to tracking your progress. This is going to be the biggest factor with everything we do. I'd really like to reiterate this: consistency. Track your progress. Make sure your weight is going up or down based on your goal at that point in time. Look at your photos in the mirror, or look at your check-in pictures, logbook numbers, various measurements, waist, biceps, etc., etc., etc. And you cannot improve what you do not track. So, as a little conclusion, I just like to say and reiterate my point: be consistent, keep shit simple. Just make sure you're staying healthy and you're staying progressing. Don't get stuck in the minutia. Don't get stuck in little things. Take what keeps you feeling good and progressing as far as drugs, supplements, etc. And don't keep switching your shit up constantly. Don't have huge conflating variables adding in to your program, switching shit up constantly, like, oh, I'm gonna try this supplement, oh, I'm gonna try this drug, oh, I'm gonna try 10 new different exercises this session, oh, I'm gonna switch out my split, oh, I'm gonna switch my cardio. Stick to the same shit for a long period of time and be consistent. Be very patient. That's how you'll see tremendous results. Alrighty, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Let me know any questions, comments, concerns, or any videos you'd like me to make in the comments down below. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.